The sun, a big, warm, orange ball, was slowly going down behind the tall, tall cliffs of Whispering Canyon. Every evening, when the last bit of sunshine touched the highest rock, a sweet, clear sound would ring out. This was the canyon bell, a very special bell. It helped all the sleepy little fireflies find their way home in the dark. But tonight, something was wrong. The air was quiet. There was no sound of the bell. Riko, the baby red panda, felt a little shiver. Her fluffy, striped tail stopped swishing. Her big, curious eyes, usually full of fun, looked very, very worried. Her tiny ranger bag felt heavy, not with toys, but with a big worry. Beside her, Ollie, the baby sea otter, puffed out his round cheeks. He squinted up at the bell tower. His shiny, curious eyes were fixed on the bell. His little tool belt, with its tiny wooden peg, seemed to hang low. He looked worried, too. A very soft, quiet sound floated down. The bell should be ringing loud and clear, but it wasn't. And then, they saw it. High up, wrapped all around the bell rope, was a beautiful, shiny, golden kite. Its long, silky tail, which usually danced in the sky, was now stuck tight. It was stopping the bell from ringing. "Oh no," Ollie squeaked. His happy smile was gone, replaced by a frown. "If the bell can't ring, the fireflies won't find their way home." Riko nodded, her warm, orange fur bristling a little. She thought of all the tiny, glowing fireflies. They would be blinking in the dark, lost in the big canyon. Their little hearts would be so sad. Just then, a tiny firefly, its light blinking fast, zipped down to them. It looked very, very worried. Riko took a deep, slow breath. Her soft fur went up and down. Ollie nodded. His shiny eyes met Riko's. This was not just a small problem. This was a big firefly emergency. Riko gently tapped his paw on her chest. "We will help," he said. His voice was small but brave. "We will help together." Ollie gave a firm nod. His little otter paws were already wiggling, ready to go. They knew the first rule for a big problem: stop. Breathe. Think. Riko closed his eyes for a moment. The wind ruffled her fur. Then he opened them, and a bright idea began to sparkle in his mind. Ollie took a big, slow breath, then let it out with a soft times whoosh asterisk. They stood side by side, two tiny heroes, thinking as hard as they could. Suddenly, Riko picked up a small twig. He smoothed a patch of dirt with his paw. With quick, sure lines, he drew a picture. It showed a very tall tree, the bell tower, and a long line going between them. In the middle of the line, he drew a little circle. Ollie's eyes lit up. "A zip line," he shouted. His happy smile came back, even bigger than before. "That's it, Riko. A super-duper high-flying zip line." Riko tapped the little circle in his drawing. "And we'll use a pulley," he said. His voice was full of excitement. "A pulley is like a little wheel that helps a rope move super smoothly and easily. It helps even when it's carrying something heavy." She looked at Ollie, her bright eyes twinkling. "It will make our zipline work." Their adventure began. Riko, with her strong little paws, went to find the best ropes. He sniffed and tugged at thick, strong vines. He tested each one with all his might. Asterisk, Tug, tug, asterisk. He grunted. His fluffy tail swished like a happy pendulum. Good. Strong like a mountain, he said, gathering a big bundle of vines. Meanwhile, Ollie, who was always good at finding things, scampered off. He looked for a smooth, round piece of wood. He found a perfect little wooden wheel, just the right size. This will be our pulley, he said with a grin. It's super smooth and super strong. Now came the very important part, setting up the zipline. They found the tallest, strongest pine tree on one side of the canyon. It stood tall and proud. Riko carefully tied one end of his strong vine rope to its highest branch. He made sure it was super tight and safe. Then, with lots of teamwork and a little bit of careful climbing, they stretched the rope all the way across to the bell tower. Ollie, with his little wooden wheel, carefully clipped it onto the rope. It glided perfectly. Smooth as a river stone, Ollie said, his shiny eyes gleaming with pride. Riko, who was very strong, braced himself at the pine tree. He held the rope very, very firmly. Ollie, brave and ready, strapped himself into a little harness that was attached to the pulley. I will ride with a safety strap and bring back the golden kite, he announced, giving a thumbs up. Riko checked his knots one last time. All safe, she called out. Ollie checked his own. All safe, he confirmed. They looked at each other, sharing a brave moment. Ready? Riko asked. Ollie pushed off. He started to glide across the canyon. He could see the golden kite, fluttering just ahead, waiting for him. But then, something strange happened. The rope started to slow down. Ollie was not spinning smoothly anymore. It was rubbing against the rope, making a grumpy, creaking sound. It was stuck. Riko frowned. His brow was furrowed in thought. Both thought very hard. Riko looked at the pine tree. He saw sticky, shiny sap oozing from a tiny crack in the bark. His eyes widened. Tree sap, he exclaimed. It's super sticky, but it can also be super slippery. Ollie clapped his paws. Of course, sap makes things glide. He carefully reached out. He dabbed a tiny drop of the tree sap onto the pulley wheel. Riko cheered. With the problem solved, Riko called out, his voice full of new confidence. 3, 2, 1, zip! Ollie pushed off again. This time, he slid gently and swiftly across, and his shiny eyes sparkled with joy. He reached the bell tower. His little paws expertly grabbed the bell's edge. The golden kite, now very close, fluttered its silky tail as if saying, "Thank you." Ollie carefully hugged the kite to his chest. With a gentle tug, he unlooped its string from the bell rope. "Got you," he whispered to the kite. Then, Riko, waiting patiently, caught Ollie and the beautiful golden kite in a warm, soft hug. They were safe and sound. The moment the kite was free, the canyon bell, as if waking from a long, long nap, rang out. Its sweet, clear chime echoed through the canyon. It was a joyful, happy song. And just like magic, hundreds of tiny fireflies, their lights glowing with happy anticipation, began to blink their way home. They were guided by the familiar, wonderful sound of the bell. The canyon was alive with light and sound. Riko and Ollie, beaming with pride, looked at each other. They had done it. They had used their smart brains and worked together as best friends. They had saved the fireflies' bedtime. What a wonderful adventure. Sticky sap solves problems. Teamwork makes it better.